Hey Nate, thanks. Thanks for tuning in. Instagram people, I'm broadcasting live on Twitch right now. View is much better there. You have 3 views instead of one from behind. It's twitch.tv/Doug Stanett, same user as Instagram. Hey Leah, thanks for joining. Good to see you as always. Megan, no, mi español no es bueno. Lo siento. Yeah, I'm gonna try getting back to that little capsule-headed idea that I had. I think I might make it uh, a spacesuit thing, actually. So we'll see. It's kind of what I'm thinking right now. It's gonna be tiny little space head in a spacesuit. It's a really big spacesuit for a teeny tiny head, but that's kind of the point. Instagram people, I'm on Twitch right now, twitch.tv/Doug Stanett. Much better view than on Instagram. I'm sorry for the back view on Instagram. Tinier. Yeah. I'm worried about making it too small because like I'm not going to have any room for detail, but you think tinier than that, Leia? Even tinier? Okay. No. No, why do you people think that's a penis? That's the oddest. Oh, now I see. No, this is the base right here. No, it's not a penis. You, I mean, what would that be? Silly people. I've never seen. Well, I guess maybe, yeah. Anyway, that's yeah. No, it's not a penis. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try doing a space thing. Space thing. So this is gonna be like the where his space helmet attaches. I don't think I'm gonna do a space helmet. Just he's gonna have his helmet off. No, it's not a mushroom house. It's gonna be like a skull, a tiny little skull thing in a spacesuit. That's the plan. Um, so like the space is gonna be big arm things here, like that, and a console thing here. Maybe a hose coming like down here, maybe. I don't know. And down off of there. So que cenaste. I don't know what cenaste means. ¿Cómo se dice cenaste in inglés? 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 Someone is calling me? I don't, no one should be calling me on my cell phone. It's not how I use my cell phone, usually. I only got a cell phone less than a year ago. I just got it because it helps a lot when I'm doing conventions. And now it helps me broadcast on Instagram. Dinner. Cenaste is dinner? Or is that a different conversation? Hey, Gobble Porch. Thank you very much. I'm glad it looks good to you. My head cam, I think I need to get a new camera because it's just too fuzzy. I don't know, maybe it's just focusing too far back. It's still fuzzy there though, isn't it? Focus here. Good afternoon, Doug E. Yeah, I figure if you can drop the las, you can drop the O. All right. Leah, I'm still going to make this smaller still, as you were hinting that I should. It's still too big, I think. Don't know how to say cenaste in English. Yeah, sorry, I can't bring up a translator now. Because my hands are dirty and I'm busy. Oh, excellent, Dougie. Yeah, so it's a lot easier that way, huh? Okay. So Gobble Porch, the fuzzy face cam doesn't bother you at all? Thank you, Roy Anazari. Instagram people, I'll say this a couple more times. If you go to Twitch, twitch.tv/Doug Stanett, same username as Instagram, the view is better there. So I don't think you even have to sign up. I think you can just go directly there. I don't know how it works on mobile. Anyway, Twitch is cool. It's fun. Check out Twitch. Yeah, he's going to have a space suit. Ithimir. Well, that's good to know, Gobbleporch. It bothers me a little bit, but it's good to know that it's not really an issue. So, oh, Gobbleporch, thanks. That's very nice of you to say. Um, that's really good to know that you think that. I'm sure it can be improved. I want to get it so that I can. So I did buy a keyboard and mouse for messy hands, and eventually I want to get it so that I can browse the internet and bring up a web page easily, so I can do reference and check out things when people post a link. But that, you know, that'll happen eventually. Oh, thanks, Doug. Yeah, Mike has been super kind to me on Twitch. So thanks for tuning in and listening to the feed. Um, that's too big. It's too big a panel. Yeah, Gobbleporch, I actually bought it's really cool actually. It's a flexible keyboard. It was only like 12 bucks. But it's you can roll it up. Here, this is so cool. I'll get it. If it's not plugged into anything. Yeah, check this thing out. It's flexible. Isn't that bizarro? It's like a $12 waterproof flexible keyboard. So the whole thing is encapsulated in in you know, this rubber. I have no idea how long it's going to last, but yeah, totally cheap, and it does work. But again, I don't know how long it's going to last. But part of my problem is that I kind of have I have two stations. I have a um, multimedia station and a ceramic station, and so like switching between the two, switching the setup between the two is a pain in the butt. Um, so I need, yeah, I just need to spend some more hours figuring out some of the like ease of like ease of life issues with the setup. Uh-oh, my keyboard almost dropped. I'll go put it somewhere else. Oh, Doug, that's a good point about the face cam. Maybe it is just dirty because it's super old. Yeah, Leia, isn't that cool? It's like it'd be awesome for travel. Um, yeah, it's just it's an amazing world what you can get for 12 bucks. Like you can't even buy like a hockey puck, proper hockey puck for 12 bucks, but you can buy a keyboard. You can buy you can I'm building in the process of building a new computer. You can buy a, a DVD player for 20 bucks, a reader writer for 20 bucks. It's just crazy. Thanks for following it, the mirror. I think this is the third spaceman, maybe the fourth spaceman kind of thing I've made. I did one with a removable helmet. That was a lot of work. Um, this one's not going to have a removable helmet. All right, I've lost all my Instagram people now already. So Instagram people, if you want to go over to twitch.tv/Doug Stanett, views much better there. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the Instagram because I always feel kind of like I'm baiting people with crappy views on Instagram. Really what I'm trying to do is get you to go join me on Twitch. So have a great Sunday, Instagram people. Bye bye. Thanks, Doug. I will keep that in mind. I actually don't play hockey anymore. Um, I used to play with friends at PDI, but I haven't done that in years and years and years. But it always cracked me up that all of the things you could buy for the same price as just an extruded piece of plastic. I don't know. I'm probably being cruel. There's maybe more that goes into making a hockey puck than I understand, but it always seemed a little silly to me. Is that it's still too big? Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Let's see. That's pretty silly looking. Yeah, and maybe he has two layers of clothing here. I think maybe I should press in another collar. It's like a secondary collar. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be a skull or an alien or just a super skinny human. I don't think he's going to be a human. A lot funner stuff to do than that for this guy, I think. Doug, no, I generally do not work with modeling clay. I have used Chavant before, but uh, generally I don't. I probably will when I get around to making some stuff for to be cast. Um, uh, but since I make my work to be sold, um, when if I'm not casting, Chavant is not practical. I am meaning to make something to be cast, so I might very well be doing that soon. Um, are you a sculptor, Doug? Hey, cow pie, alien with a vertical mouth. You mean like a mouth that opens up like this? Like a, now people were calling it a penis earlier, but that would be like the yin yang for a penis. The, what is it? The yani to his lingam. Um, Vertical mouth would be hard to read. That's so beyond, it's a little insect-like. I guess in that way it's within our realm of experience. So I probably won't do a vertical mouth just because it's so weird that it's gonna be hard, it's gonna like be hard to maintain character and be that weird. But I might just be being closed-minded too. Who knows? Uh, yeah. See, my ideas that my feeling about that might just be closed-minded. It might be completely wrong. Um, and at the same time, that's okay because when it comes to like artwork, that's kind of what leads to style is different opinions on what works and what doesn't. Like it's like it's not just it's like different opinions, differing thoughts about what is important. Um, uh, aren't right or wrong necessarily, but they do lead to different styles and aesthetics, and that's just really good because you want people to have different styles and aesthetics. Oh, that's cool, Doug. I've never heard of anyone doing 3D printing and then sculpting over it with Chavant. That's super cool. Um, so then do you cast your do you cast after that? Whoops. Okay, yeah. And so do you do ZBrush professionally, or is like when you say pay the bills, are you working for a studio or something? All right, I should probably move on to the head, finish up the head, and then do the details on the suit. That's probably how I should proceed. Tips on getting started sculpting for money. That is such a broad question. Um, uh, uh, gee, uh, no. Uh, I mean, if I felt like there was a formula for it that is tried and true and works, I would tell you. But I think it's going to be different for everybody, and I think that I'm going to be figuring out how to make it work until I'm dead. It's not an easy path, and Yeah, I mean, it's constantly changing. It's a constantly changing puzzle. Um, I would say probably my biggest tip for making money as an artist, period, as an independent artist, period, is watch One Fantastic Week podcast. Um, it's a great podcast. It's not like it's necessarily fun, but it forces you to think about um, the business side of things, and it will give you all sorts of ideas. So, One Fantastic Week, watch that. That's my biggest tip. They don't have a lot of information that's directly aimed at sculpting, but um, most of the artists who are on the show are 2D artists. Um, so, um, I mean, I've been making sculpture in one form or another, if you can include 3D puppet making, part of my living for um, now 25 years. And the only time it's been good money is when I'm working for a studio. Otherwise, you're running really fast and hard, and uh, you know, not being very well compensated. Um, and despite the fact when people look at the prices on your sculpture, they might think, "Oh my God, that's so expensive." It's like every minute you spend sculpting is represents many minutes that you're doing things related to your business that aren't sculpting, and it also represents many minutes where you were doing sculpting and not making any money for it, just learning. So, yeah, you kind of threw me for a loop there with that question. Um, watch One Fantastic Week. Uh, yeah, so uh, Ithamir, look at Doug's response to my question. It's like typical. It's like it's kind of what I did at DreamWorks is I wasn't really doing my art. I was doing somebody else's art. So Doug's off doing super cool stuff as an engineer with satellites and shit, but he's not doing his art because it is a tough row to hoe. Yeah, so oh, by the way, I'm no longer wearing my microphone. I've got it like underneath my sculpting stand. So let me know if the audio seems okay or worse than before. Um, it's kind of nice not having it pinned to me. So hopefully it's just as good. Yeah, being an artist for a living is totally worth it. It's just not worth it in terms of money in general. It's just really, really hard. Thanks, Doug. Glad that the audio sounds good. That's really good to know. All right, I need to figure out what I'm doing with this head. I've been like, Ithamir just like totally ran me off the rails, which is cool. I don't get me wrong, Ithamir. That's a great question, and I'm glad you asked it. It's just like I just sort of saw my whole life flash in front of me, and it's like, what have you learned from this experience that you can share, to help somebody else follow? And it's like nothing. I have no words of wisdom beyond beyond yet. You just got to buckle down and spend the time and understand the consequences. All right, yeah, Doug, you're right. I gotta get back to work here. What's this guy gonna be doing? I know he's gonna have a tiny little head. Is that head small enough? I mean, spacesuits are so big anyway. Maybe that head is still not small enough. I kind of like the idea of him having these bug eyes. Earthworm Jim. I've heard that character before. It's a cartoon, right? But I don't really know what Earthworm Jim looks like. And I kind of like that. It's just super simple. Why not? He can be super simple. Super simple. But he could also be like a tall skull. I love skulls. So I think I'm gonna go with those bug eyes because that space and bug eyes just kind of goes together like eggs and toast. Okay, where's my tool? The advantage of not using a lot of tools, it's easier to find your tools, but I'm still able to lose tools. There it is. Yeah, a beak would be cool. It's gonna have eyes here. It's just so much fun. Just this, he doesn't really need much of a face at all. It's just too much fun. Just spacesuits and little bobbleheads. That's not a bobblehead. Little capsule heads. Monster Scott, thank you for following. It doesn't read quite as well. It reads so well. They need to be bigger if they're going to be bulb-eyed. Yeah, Doug, you can do what's called slip casting, where you basically slip is just watery clay. So you can buy or make your slip and then pour it into a cast. I think generally the casts are plaster, um, and then uh, and then fire that once it's set up. It's kind of amazing that it works because clay shrinks so much. Kind of amazing that slip casting works. I've never done it myself, but it definitely can be done. And if you know Turkey Merc on Instagram, he makes these super, super cool um, zombie mugs, both zombie heads and also just like the lower half of a zombie. So like when you're drinking the mug, it looks like the lower half of your face is zombie. He I know he kind of went the mass produced route a little bit. Um, he was doing everything by hand, and then he started slip casting. I think uh, because getting some economy of scale helps you make a living as an artist. Um, uh, Mouth, mouth, mouth. Let's see. What is, I'm having a hard time imagining what this mouth is going to be. Maybe it's going to, don't look, anyone. Don't look, don't watch now. Don't watch, because it's really messed up right now. The size is pretty hard to work with. Let me make more excuses. Oh, and to finish answering your question, Doug, yeah, I have my own kiln, which is pretty critical because transporting work is really tricky because before you fire it, once it's dried out and before you fire it, water-based clay is super fragile, just insanely fragile. And having your own kiln is, it's cheaper in the end, and it's more convenient, and allows you to experiment more. And really with ceramics, since so much of finishing ceramics is not what you see is what you get, being able to experiment is just absolutely key. So much of ceramics is just trial and error when it comes to firing. Just an insane amount of trial and error. Which gets back to the thing about, well, what is someone paying for when they're buying art? When you're buying ceramics, you're paying for countless messed up projects. I'm definitely going to do more of these. So I'm going to, like, I like this guy so much that, like, I was afraid to do anything to his face because I didn't want to mess it up. But the solution for that is just to not feel precious about it and come back and do more. So I'm just going to do more space people. They're just so much fun. Yeah, Ithumir, I totally prefer making one of a kind and selling one of a kind work. It's when I buy art, I prefer to buy the original, and I prefer to sell the original when I am selling my art. In my mind, it's just so much more special. When you buy my art, you're buying a little piece of my soul. When you buy an original piece of art, there's only so much original art any one artist can make. Slow Burn Studio. Oh my goodness. Thank you for hosting with 18 viewers. You're awesome. Oh, thank you, Slow Burn Studio. uh, yeah, Doug, you're too true, too true. Yeah, thank you everybody from Slow Burn Studio. Super thanks for coming over. I'm still like, I'm talking about not being precious about this face, but I'm still like feeling like it's not really anywhere near as fun as it could be. I don't feel like I'm making good decisions here. Ugh, geez, see, I just totally messed that up. I'm going back to no bulbous eyeballs. I just liked it more like that. Oh, uh, uh, the people who were just following, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Gobble Porch, thank you for plugging my channel. No, it's not Earthworm Jim. What is this guy named Earthworm Jim? I'm gonna have to go and look to figure out who Earthworm Jim is. Is it a cartoon or a video game or what? I know I've heard the name before, but I am not sure where it comes from. Thank you, K Safe Fun, for following. And thank you, John LaStudio, for following. Video game character. Thanks, Leia. Yeah, I gotta just move on this guy. I should just, instead of like worrying about him, I should just do another one. You know, that's the thing. I should just stop like being precious about him and just do another one. It's like half skull, half lippy thing. Thank you, John LaStudio. I appreciate that very much. See, that's probably, that clay is too dried out for doing ears. Get some fresher clay. I love how all you people know each other. It's really cool. For making ears, I generally just start with a little like orange wedge. Just make an orange wedge in your fingers and then stick it on. Hey, you Avon! Thanks for joining. I'm very happy you like your new pieces. Yeah, I'm delighted, you Avon. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, finish off these ears. I should zoom in. Focus, focus. Having trouble focusing? Oh, that doesn't look in focus. Why does that look so blurry? Yeah, Leia, I'm gonna give him some fun doodads in the front and including he'll have a hose of some sort. Ghost of Christmas, thank you. That's great to hear. And Leah, thank you for concurring. It's encouraging. Not sure if I'm going to give him teeth or not. He could be. He looks more human now than I had originally planned. Nothing's wrong with that, but what if he's a little bit more monstrous with the tooth there? Yeah, so um, oh, first I'm going to ask the question myself before I get to your question, Doug. So, Ghost, do you think I should, or people, do you think I should have my social information actually in my stream, or is it cool just leaving it in my bio area? Um, okay, so yeah, getting your clay bits to adhere to each other. Um, like these little ones, I'm just dropping in there, and there's like enough moisture under there that it's going to be okay, and there's not going to be a lot of stress on those tiny little teeth. So I'm not doing anything special there. But if you noticed when I did the ears, I normally you want to score. Um, let's say I want to join these two pieces together here, like say like this. So that would not work. That would break off at some point. So um, what you want to do is get a rough brush like this and have it wet, and you're basically kind of making slip as you go along and you're scoring it. You can use something much rougher too, like this, and then either get slip on there or just water, because the water will make slip. So like that. And then you want to do the same thing to the other side. So like that. This is pretty much well, this is one of the few things that I do not like about water-based clay, is the care you have to go to when joining your parts together. So now like that. Now if I jam these two together, they're going to be happily married, especially if I go to the trouble of doing some blending. So that's the kind of thing you'd want to do, joining one piece of water-based clay to another. Thanks, Slow Burn Studio. Okay, Ghost of Christmas. That's good to know. Yeah, I'm pretty new to this. I'm very new to this, so all these tips are really good. And you're welcome, Doug. Okay, so that head isn't like super interesting, but it's fine. I like it. It fits the suit. He's like he's mostly human, but not quite. So unless anyone has some more ideas for the head, I'm going to move on to the suit details. I don't know that I have a bot. I need to learn how to have a bot. What application do you use for the bot? Or is it built in? I use OBS Studio. Is it built into that? Or what do I do for my, I'm sure it's not built into that. Actually, I think I know enough about it that it wouldn't be part of that. So, um, Ankbot, Nightbot. I have it. It's free. Ankbot. So, um, uh, Nightbot or Ankbot? Are they the same? Can you guys argue about which is better? Hey 70MS, thanks so much for joining. Alright, he's looking kind of like a warrior now instead of just a spaceman. I wonder if he should have some military hardware. Alright, so I'm going to make some scores here to give his suit some little bit of use. These should be big here. So I want those to stand out. Go. Aquamarine disease, what is that? Yeah, you guys argue about bots. Come to a conclusion. Sergeant Smellerby, thank you for following. Okay. Yes. guy kind of reminds me of Bruce Willis. Effects are remain unstable. Had a long time. Oh. Okay, so 70 when I saw your hummingbird thing the other day. So when a bird shows up, it detects the motion. It detects the changes in the video and like automatically puts out a notice. That's crazy cool. This 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 Twitch world is pretty amazing. All right, so bot updates a counter. Oh, so somebody else spots the bird. I'm being dense here, I fear. Somebody like puts in a notice that there's a bird there, and then it picks up that notice and updates a counter and adds the person who typed the thing into it. That's I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I'm gonna start sounding dumb. Uh, all right, this box, control box. Oh, okay, that's cool. What I need to do is set something up where if someone types off camera, I hear a beep and know that I'm working off camera. It's not so much a problem with uh, the ceramics, but with the mixed media, it's a lot more challenging to stay on camera. Doug, what kind of parrot do you have? I would love to have a cockatoo myself, but I just don't have the life for it. But I would love to have a lovey cockatoo, or really, there's a ton of different kinds of parrots I would love to have, but I would choose a cockatoo if I was going to get one. They're just so lovey. Oh, you've got a macaw. Shamrock macaw. So is it a green? Is it like call it shamrock because it's green or what? How big is it? Have a store near us that has the huge blue ones. I forget what they're called, but they're enormous blue macaws. So impressive. That's great, Doug. Yeah, I love parrots. I just love parrots. Yeah, would love to have a parrot. Well, actually, maybe all I need to do is, oh yeah, see, check this out. I'm gonna disappear for just a moment after I wash my hands. I'm just gonna move the windows on my monitor, and then it's gonna maybe look more like I'm just looking up because the monitor's almost behind my rig. There now. Now, yeah, now I can't even read the text because he's in the way. Does that look better? 3 feet from tip to tail. All right, so I mean now actually that's not good because now I've got white a white screen right behind my sculpture. So that's that's better. Let me get this thing out of the way. There we go. All right, back to doodads. Um, Working on getting a hose off the ground here. So might do two hoses, like one going in and one going out, I think. Maybe I'll go do have yeah, I'm gonna do two going in, like like from either side. I think that'll look cooler. Is that too distracting? All right. Where's my tool? Use this one maybe. That actually makes a good doodad just like that. So So Doug, back to the attaching thing. I'm just making these holes like kind of like pointy and deeper, just to have more surface area to contact, um, and just get a little bit of slip in there. And then I will make the hoses where they go in a little bit pointy like that, and that should help them adhere. Dip them in a little slip, and hopefully that will work nicely. And then I gotta get some ribs on this thing. This might be challenging to get this all ribbed all the way down. We'll see. Don't have to get ribs all the way around it everywhere. Just enough to suggest what's going on. Yeah, there we go. So that's a possibility, Doug. You definitely, that's something you definitely want to be careful of. But if you see how I had it tapered, like it was a spike and a tapered pit. So by doing that, you decrease the chance of trapping air in there. And it's a little bit of a myth about exploding stuff. Like, it's not a myth that you can get stuff to explode. There's no doubt that you can do that. But the myth that it will explode if there's air in your clay I mean, there's always going to be some air in your clay. So the fact that um, there's air in your clay doesn't mean that your piece is going to explode. It's going to explode if it if there's too much air in your clay, or if you fire it too quickly. Um, oh, there's some sad stuff here going on. So basically, try to avoid having air in your clay, but really the most important thing to do is to dry it slowly and fire it super slowly. Um, and when you fire it, before you fire, you want to do a preheat for a pretty long time. Like I typically preheat for 10 hours um, to uh, to help get the moisture out of the clay. Um, all right, now I guess there's a sad story I'm going to read here. That is really sad. I'm sorry for your budgie. Okay, see how these are tapered, Doug? So, you know, the holes are tapered and these are tapered. They don't have to be perfect. Um, uh, yeah, so preheat. I preheat at 180 degrees, which is like just below boiling. So it's like you know, the it's not steaming, but it's really close. Um, and uh, um, so that actually that part is not expensive. Preheating for 10 hours at 180 degrees, the kiln is so well insulated that 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 doing that doesn't add a lot to the expense of firing. Um, what makes firing expensive is the fact that you are, you know, you have to take the damn thing up to uh, ridiculous temperatures. And in general, I do it slowly. So, you know, it's it's when the kiln is, you know, like over 1,000 degrees and going up to 2,100 degrees that gets crazy expensive. Uh, and regarding my gas bills, I am very proud to say that I have solar panels. So when I got my kiln and realized how much energy I was using, I bought solar panels for my house. Before that, solar panels didn't seem to make a whole lot of sense because I used so little electricity. But as soon as I got the kiln, my electricity usage just skyrocketed. And so um, with solar panels, uh, firing my kiln is okay. So when you buy my sculpture, you're buying it green. You're buying a green product. Yeah, so typically a piece will sit around for a week or two. And that you want that to be a slow dry too, so I'll put it in a box. I just have some cardboard boxes set up to house. It's like a sturdy floor, but it's a cardboard box sitting in a sturdy location. And you close the cardboard box so that it will dry more slowly. You just want everything to happen slowly when it comes to finishing ceramics. So, I mean, that really is the key right there. You do it slowly, you could probably fire something with a giant air bubble and you'd be okay. That's kind of the sad thing about all these, the typical high school, you know, the stereotype of, oh, the sculpture that I worked on forever exploded. It's probably it exploded just because the dumb teacher fired it fast. Not because you were a crappy sculptor. I mean, you probably were a crappy sculptor because you'd have to be like amazing to be an amazing sculptor in your teens. But not to say that it's not possible. But anyway, um, exploding ceramics just should not really happen. Now, I'm not a ceramicist, so maybe there's ceramicists out there that say I'm full of crap. But it just hasn't been much of a problem for me. I just do everything slowly. What was I talking about? Um, and yeah, okay, so yeah, my kiln is a cone 10 kiln. I think cone 10 is something like 2400 degrees. I don't recall exactly what cone 10 is because I don't fire to cone 10. It's really hard on your kiln to fire that high. So I buy cone 5 6 clay and I generally fire to cone 5. So my kiln will last longer that way. And really the toughness that I have, like if I was making coffee cups, I'd probably be buying cone 10 clay and firing to cone 10, but my work will be plenty tough for you know for its intended purpose. Uh, Bye 70, thanks for coming by. Okay, so more doodads. Where did that tool go? Yeah, I liked what happened when I just pressed this in there. So it's funny when you look at like Darth Vader's original panel, it is just so ridiculously cheesy. Um, it's just so simple and cheesy, but you don't get that impression while you're watching it um, at all. Put some nubs in there. Maybe I might make this guy a little bit mixed media and like give him uh, an antenna in the back. That might be really fun. I think that's a nice evolution for ashtray is being used as a candy dish. Actually, last time I was at my parents' house, my mom had me take home some of my old sculptures. Um, and the funny thing is, when I was whatever, like 10 or whatever, 8, yeah, my subject matter was pretty much the same as it is now. For a while, I was, like recently, I was doing a bunch of like admirals for ship, like maritime admirals type stuff. And sure enough, I got a admiral from when I was like 8 years old or whatever. Here, I'll go show you. Check it out. My content hasn't changed. Look, it's Admiral Space Dude. My content has not changed in 40 years. There, Doug. My signature's changed. I dropped the O. Isn't that funny? You can see his little feather here broke. It's been epoxied. Focus, focus. Hey. Wow, there we go. Thanks, Leia. Maybe there should be like a screen here or something. Maybe that's what this whole area is here. Pretty hard clay at this point. Don't really think that looks good. Player 111, thank you for following. That's funny. Yeah, because oh yeah, because now that it's He's heavy breathing. Yeah, I can see that now. I have a piece of paper underneath my Lazy Susan to slow it down because this is not a Lazy Susan. This is actually this should stop the breathing. This is a banding wheel, which is a basically a super high quality Lazy Susan. Um, and so it'll spin forever. There's like so little resistance. Here he's going to start breathing again. So I stick a piece of paper in there so it doesn't spin forever. Let me know if I should change that, like if it's annoying that it makes that sound. And that would just mean that I should move the mic. All right. All right, I'm thinking maybe I'll like do some unit back here. It might be distracting though. It might like break up his symmetry too much. I mean, I love asymmetry, but um, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because it's just going to cut down on how his head reads. But I am kind of tempted to leave a slot for sticking a wire up there because I think that'd be kind of cool. I don't know. I've got mixed feelings about that. Okay, I think he's pretty much done. So I forgot to hollow him out. Is this base too wide? I could cut the base a little bit. I think it's fine. It's beefy base. Okay. And I think here, since it's so wide, I'm probably just gonna do, smooth this out here. There. And now reduce the contact area first off. Helps things sit flatter. And then I will I think I'm just gonna like stick him 3 times. That way he's gonna be super heavy, which I like. Stick him 3 times like this. That should be enough air for him. So, but Doug, I do have background sounds of heavy breathing. Yeah, Yeah, the music thing seems like a real quandary because some people kind of seem to really want it, others don't, and then you got the I don't own the music problem, and then like I'm just thinking, for crying out loud, put on your own music. Um, but then again, I have to admit, when I turn on like the few feeds that I've watched, I have enjoyed listening to the music, except for when I haven't liked the music. So, yeah, I'm pretty torn about music. I also don't know how you have music playing and listen to your own feed, like so I can hear like when somebody follows and but not get feedback from the music. So maybe there's a super simple way to do that, but I don't know what it is. Yeah, so yeah, it seems like all those statements are pretty much leading me to think that just leaving music out of it is probably the way to go. I mean, I don't want anyone stealing my artwork, so I was thinking, well, maybe it'd be okay to play music from dead people, even if the copyright is still live. It's like then I'd be, stealing from like Warner Brothers or whatever, rather than potentially stealing from, you know, Paul McCartney, like he couldn't afford to be stolen from. uh, I was also thinking of trying to find somebody who, some artist, some musician who actually actively wants me to play their music. I mean, that seems like that would be a good uh, symbiotic relationship, is if you could find a band or multiple bands, hopefully, because you don't want the music to be too repetitive. Find some bands that you like that want you to play their music. I would totally do that as long as the music was not like long-term obnoxious. I feel like that panel needs a little bit more somewhere, like right in here. I'm not happy with what's going on here. Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. You gotta like the music too. Um, but really, what's the most important thing is that the viewers like the music because I could always turn it down, right? Uh, yeah. Hey, Damien, thanks for joining and thanks for the kind words. Yeah, I think he's pretty much done. I could probably spend a lot of time cleaning him up here and there. Uh, it's pretty messy inside here. Oh yeah, down in here. I don't want this to be too sloppy right in here. Yeah, I would love to hear you playing the spoons. Um, oh, and Doug, I wouldn't. I have no idea how old you are, but um, I'm older than I look, or at least older than most people think I am, probably. So um, I'm I'm kind of getting on. I think I have some genes that just from observation kind of help me look a little bit younger for a while, but then eventually I'm just gonna like overnight start looking old as dirt. That's my prediction for myself. Is that like these kind of middling years look kind of young, and then at some point it's just gonna be old as dirt. Thanks, Leia. Thanks for encouraging me to make his head smaller. It was a good call. Anybody got any title ideas for this one? Something like something about being too close to the sun or something. Yeah, ghost. It's whatever you want it to be. That's my cheap answer when somebody asks me what exactly is it. So whatever you want it to be. It's the good thing about sculpting, like only your own stuff. Whatever you like. I'm going to put a doodad on the top here. There needs to be some kind of vertical doodad thing going on. That's because I'm so wanted to put something back here, but then I didn't really, because that messes with his head silhouette. So I'm going to put some never trust autopilot. Yes. Yeah. Autopilot cautionary tale. Vertical doodads. taller one over here. Yeah, these small things, the attachment process is not that critical because they're not going to it's not going to be a whole lot of stress, and I'm putting these pretty deep holes in there. So Doug, do you have access to a kiln, or do you do ceramics at all? Oh, bye, Leia. Have a good afternoon. Thanks so much for coming and watching. There. That's better. I wonder if I should have something off to the side here too. Oh, you're right, Ghost. Yeah, it's true. They do like point up towards the head. That's a happy accident. Or I planned that all along. Yeah, you're gonna have a ton of fun. You're gonna have so much fun when you get your kiln. It's just such an adventure. There's so much to learn. And it's not like you have to learn everything, but there's always more to learn if you want to learn when it comes to ceramics. I mean, it's just I call it a termite mound of knowledge. And not even just knowledge, of stuff to know, a lot of which, nobody even knows yet. Just, I mean, you can discover your own stuff when it comes to ceramics. It's no wonder that people, go to school and get their masters in ceramics. But at the same time, you don't have to know a whole lot to, work with it and have fun. There. One side doohickey. Cool. Where are you, tool that I'm looking for? There you are. Oh, kind of messed it up there. That's right. Yeah, I will. I will. I'm gonna go back and do the voiceover. Yeah. So like an hour ago, I'll say, and I'll put the hoses like this that will lead the eye to the head. said with authority. Ooh, microphone inside where the helmet would be. You mean so like a little thing coming up right here? I think thanks Doug. I think that like to look good it might have be too thin for ceramics. It's kind of what I'm feeling. I think he's done. I think he's done. Just need to sign him. With the tool I can't find. Where are you, tool? There you are. Need to clean up my ceramic station a little bit. There's been tool creep. Stay clean. There we go. Yeah, I could put a little wire in there afterwards, just like I could put a little wire antenna in there. I could put holes in there that leave that option open for me if I want. But I think I'm just going to leave him because you know, it's kind of a slippery slope. If I put a wire in him, then yeah, I'm calling him done. All right. I'm going to put him in a safe place. And I'll make something fast, something super fast. And then go get some food. Yeah, slippery slope. Oh, okay, what am I going to make? Something super small, super fast. Well, Damien, there's a possibility that something like that might happen someday, but I view it at this point as a super long shot, so until it happens, it's a long shot. And Lord knows I'm not going to do it on my own because I can't bite off any more to chew, and after working with good animators, I know that I am not a good animator. I have a taste of what a good animator is, and that I am not. Need another lifetime to become that. Okay. Maybe I'll just do a skull thing real quick. Lost too much of his front area there. Widen out a bit. Ghost of Christmas, do you do stop motion work? Do you make stop motion puppets? Nice. Are you you mean just getting into making your own stop motion movies, or? Hmm. Yeah, Monster Clay is supposed to be good stuff. I have never used it, but I know it's very popular and well regarded. So Doug, what exactly do you prefer about Chavant over Monster Clay? You're just more used to it? I mean, that's a perfectly valid statement. That's kind of what I'm guessing what you mean by old school, since it's an older material, but maybe you mean something else. Getting used to your medium is certainly, it takes time. You can't get used to every medium on the planet. Man, I'm really having a case of the tool losers. Tool, where are you? Where's my favorite tool? What? There you are. What are you doing down there? Makeup Macabre, thank you very much for hosting my broadcast. I appreciate it. Oop, I'm off camera. Sorry. That's not a good mark. Shoot. Surprised myself with how badly that turned out. It's like I tripped. Oh yeah, well that's a damn good reason to to prefer Chavant. I think I would be right there with you. Which firmness of Chavant do you use, or do you vary by your task? Mix hard and medium and then remelt it. So you mix it together and then you melt it so that it's like completely mixed well. Yeah. Alright, he's kind of cute like that. I don't know if I'm going to make him. Oh, that's cool. So you could, yeah, that's cool. I know that's similar to how a lot of the toy makers do it, but they'll be like working in wax, I think, or they'll maybe work in Chavant or something like that, and then they'll make a cast, and then of that, and they'll cast in wax, or they'll cast in wax from their silicone mold, and then um, they'll finish in wax because wax is crazy, holds crazy detail. Um, Maybe I'll just leave him like that. I kind of like that expression that he's got right there. Yeah, that's cool, Doug. That sounds like a good way to go. I'm just gonna give him some arm stubs. Yeah, if you have a ceramic studio within walking distance, that's awesome. Um, that's potentially a great resource. You could be potentially doing tons of work without your own kiln then. I like the way that piece is feeling. Need some softer clay. hard time holding this guy down while I work. Oh, thanks, Doug. Alright, this dude's almost done, which means it's lunchtime almost. Almost lunchtime. Let's see, and texture his head a little bit here. Oh, actually, you know what I should do? I should give him a little bit of a suture job here. Right. Where's, okay, so. Yeah, I'm in California, Doug. So it's a late lunch, but yeah, for East Coasters it would be dinner. Okay, let's see. Am I caught up here? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna leave his eyebrows as is. It's kind of a cute expression, and I'm gonna give him a hole for his optic nerve back here. Where's my poker? Go. It's too wet in there. All right. Thanks, Doug. Yeah, thanks for joining me and for the nice conversation. I appreciate it. And thanks to everyone else who joined. Alrighty. There we go. Excellent. Thanks, everyone. I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. I probably am not going to post again until like a week and a couple of days because I'm about to go out of town. So have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.